Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. In the last video we saw how delta table stores the data in the delta format, right? And we saw like it creates couple of other files as well. So if you are not aware how it's actually stored, I would better recommend you to watch my previous video. In this video we will take the first optimization method, which is called partitions. Okay, and when I talk about partitions, actually Databricks or the Spark, right, does partitions in two different ways. You can segregate it in two different ways. Okay, the first one is your in-memory partitions. Okay, and the second one is your physical partitions. Sorry, physical partitions. Now in today's video, we'll try to cover in-memory partition and we'll see how Databricks does in-memory partitions for the data. Okay? And why it is important, right? Like why Spark does this, right? And trust me, like there are multiple interview questions will be asked, right? Based on this in-memory partitions. Okay? So let's talk about the partitions first. What is partition? Partitions means dividing your full data sets into multiple chunks, right? So this is your full data sets and I'm dividing this into multiple chunks, right? Now why we need to divide it, right? So that we can process these chunks independently, right? Or in parallel, correct? So if you wanted to process your data parallelly so that the performance will be high, right, you generally use partitions. Now when I talk in memory partitions, these kind of partitions are generally driven by the configurations. Okay, configurations basically. Okay, now these configurations again classified into two categories. One is based on your cluster. Okay, and the second one is the Spark configuration. Okay, now what Spark configuration says is the size of partition. Okay, so you can decide the size of partition with the help of configuration given by Spark. And when I talk about the cluster configuration, it decide like how many partitions you can run in parallel. Can run in parallel. Okay, now as I said, right, there are two kind of configurations. One is cluster, the other one is Spark, and they both decide how in-memory partition will work. Okay, now let's try to understand via code and configuration which we have done. So this is my first line of code. When I'm running it, so what this configuration is, this configuration is a Spark configuration. You can see Spark SQL files max partition byte, right? It says, or this defines like the number of or the size of partition basically. Like a partition, it means a partition can hold this much amount of data which is being configured based on this setting. Okay, so by default a partition can hold these many bytes of data. Now bytes are really tough to understand, so what I have done, I have converted these bytes into MBs. If you see this bytes, the last word, the last character is a suffix which is B and which represent it's in the bytes. Now to convert bytes to MB, what I have done, I have multiplied this with 2 times with 1024 from bytes to KB and from KB to MB, and that's how I'm getting the output. So the maximum partition size for a partition is 128 MB. Okay, So if I talk about the size of partition, by default Spark says it's 128 MB. It means any partition which is getting created, the size of this partition is 128 MB. If you wanted to change it, yes, you can change it. You can define the Spark configuration using set method, and you can change it. You can keep it as 200, 500, 600 MB or even 1 GB. Okay, so it's up to you. But the default partition size is 128 MB. So if you have 5 MB of records, it will be split based on 128 MB in one partition. Okay. And now, how many partitions will be created for this much of data? That's what you generally hear in the project or in the interviews, right? Like, okay, tell me, like if you have 2 GB of records, how many partitions will be created? Obviously, it depends on the configuration, right? Right? If you are creating a cluster with 4 cores, right? With 4 cores, end of the day, it will process 4 partitions in parallel, right? So when I say cluster, right, how it depends on cluster. So if I show you the cluster, my cluster has 4 cores, okay? So at the max, 4 partitions can be processed at one time. Okay, what does it mean? It means there will be 128 MB one partition, 128 MB another partition, 128 MB third partition, and 128 MB fourth partition. These 4 partitions will be processed by my cluster in parallel. Okay, and it will be around 500 something MB records, right? Maybe let's say 512 MB, correct? So this much amount of data you can process in parallel with this current configuration. Now if someone says you have to process 2 GB of data, what partition size you will choose, right? So it depends what I can do. Since my worker core size is, I'm just giving you an example, right? You can obviously change it. Where is that? Yeah. So if you see, the memory size is 8 GB for one worker, right? And I have 4 cores. It means 4 worker cores. Now what I will do, what I can do basically, right? Out of this 8 GB, let's say I can process 4 GB. So what I'll do, I will change this configuration to 600 MB or something. Okay, so for 2 GB of data, right, 2 GB of data, maybe it will create 580 MB in the first partition, 512 MB in the second partition, 520 in the third partition, right, something like that. And we will be able to process 2 GB of records with the current configuration as well, right, in parallel. Right? So it depends how you wanted to process your data and how many partitions you actually want. Okay? A single partition can hold this much amount of data which is being configured. Remember it. Okay? Now let's take an example again, right? I have created one example here. If I go here, you will see that I am creating a data frame here, okay, and in this data frame I am trying to find out the number of partition. It is by default giving me 4, right, because I have 4 cores. So if someone asks you if this is your cluster configuration, how many partitions it can run in parallel, right, or how many partitions will be there in memory, then you can say the worker cores are 4, so it will create 4 partition. If the worker cores are 32, it will create 32 partitions, right? So this is how partitions are created based on cluster. But again, if you have more and more and more data, obviously you are ending up maybe with 100 partitions, right? Okay, maybe if you have, let's say, 1 terabyte of data, you might see 100 partitions. Not a big deal, right? 100 partitions. Now, based on your cluster configuration, you can process 32 partitions in parallel. So rest all will be queued by this time. Once these 32 partitions will be completed, or one of them will be completed, the other one will take the place. Okay, and this is how Spark process these partitions in parallel, and that's how we actually optimize our work, right? Or you can say optimize your processing. Okay, to sum up, what I can say is we explored how Spark manage in-memory partitions. We also saw how it interpret the partition size and analyze the data frame partition count. Okay, if you found this video helpful, please let me know into the comment boxes. Thank you. Thanks for watching this video.